I can say today that I have a very comfortable life. My businesses are growing. My family, we have a lovely time. In fact, my wife is my best friend. We spend most times together. And my spiritual life as well, I feel very assured in my spiritual life. And this wasn't always like this until I came to the church many years ago.
I was having issues in my marriage with my husband. We're newly married, I should say, so we had financial problems. We had also ourselves to deal with, not understanding each other, arguments. We had issues with our finances. He was working then and he was just about to do his master's. So it was not easy for me with a baby.
There were times where it was very difficult to get contracts, to see things. I was trying very hard. And it was quite difficult.
We decided, both my husband and I, to be faithful tithers after learning about how if God is to bless us financially in everywhere, we have to be faithful tithers.
I thought, look, this same God, if I learn how to follow him, if I learn how to partner with him, I should be able to do great things. And he can show me great things to do. And I trusted what I was hearing from the church, that the Bible is really like the instruction we have, the manual for life that we have. And I started putting that in practice.
I would say even being in partnership with God, when I started the business which I manage, or rather run, I totally depended on him. I didn't know much, but I just said, God, you have to teach me this. I really need your help. So I was in partnership with him.
I actually got bigger contracts than what I was even expecting. And through that, I continued learning and seeing that God never really fails if we trust in him.
Everything started peaking, started getting contracts from even bigger commercial contracts from that time, I would say.
Being in partnership with God, it's like being in partnership in business or entering into any contract. You have terms and conditions. So it's like that. So I try to do my part and God does his part. So that's what the partnership is about.
What we're doing now, I would say, is that we run an estate agent. We have where we manage a lot of properties. We do lettings and sales. We also do block management, which we do all across London, I should say. And my husband runs wealth consultant business, and we're also looking to acquire many more other businesses. We are in position to do that.
One of the reasons I want to do better, I always want to do better, is to really show people that God will exist. And not just that, to help others as well.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Now, tonight's topic, before I mention it, I would like to mention just 3 things that maybe a person does in order for them not to do these things, if I can say that. Maybe, for example, you say things in order not to tell the truth. If you find yourself doing this, then you are guilty of tonight's topic. Maybe it's a lot easier to hide what you are doing, hide what it is, the truth, because of it. Maybe it makes you feel better by doing this thing. Even it's a lot easier to avoid the consequences of making a bad choice. If you do something wrong, you do this thing to avoid the consequences. Maybe you're going to be punished. Maybe you're going to be fired. Maybe, you're going to end up being alone, for example. What am I talking about? Well, let's have a look at this short video to explain more about tonight's topic.
Excuses can be used as a way to avoid making a decision or a profound change in life. But once a person believes that they can't do something, they may fall into the trap of making up excuses regularly to avoid moving out of their comfort zone and to avoid tapping into their energy resources. Excuses are a strategy to alleviate psychological discomfort. They include denial and justification. They are used so that the blame of the outcome of a negative event isn't accepted by an individual. But frequent excuse-making comes with risks. A study conducted in 2014 concluded that making up excuses is associated with lower motivation and achievement. It's a way of talking your way out of taking responsibility. Each of us can make the choice to more authentically engage in our lives by taking responsibility for our choices. At the very least, we could openly admit that there is a discrepancy that is uncomfortable for us to admit. Also, another psychological study found that people that spend time around excuse makers will begin to look negatively upon these people. They will start to want to spend less time with excuse makers, which could just exacerbate the problem in the first place. So, if you often give excuses for your behaviour or why you aren't taking up the chance of a new opportunity, then it might be time to stop making excuses and to face reality.
There you have it. That's tonight's topic. Stop making excuses. And maybe you are the type of person who is this person. You are guilty of making excuses. You always like to shift the blame maybe onto someone else. You avoid doing certain things because you just basically don't want to do it. Or maybe you feel as though you're not adequate enough to do or perform a specific role. So you like to kind of shirk your way out of it. Now, anyone who makes excuses, you know that they are not completely happy, right? Even though they want to ignore or kind of avoid a task or doing something, they're not completely happy within themselves. They're going to pick and choose what they want to do. And if you feel this way, you are this type of person, whether you realize it or not, then we would like to help you on tonight's program to deal with this excusitis, if we can call it that, right? You make excuses for doing or not doing things. Maybe you've done something wrong in your workplace, and then when it's brought to your attention, you start finger pointing. You start saying, well, I said to you, I don't have the resources. I brought this up in our meeting that I need more help. Or you say, look, I didn't get information from this person. So you make excuses to try to justify your behavior or your actions. With me tonight is Victoria. Hi, Victoria.
Hiya.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Making excuses. What do you have to say regarding this topic?
Well, there was quite a lot of information in the voiceover that we just heard, but I did look up some more extra details about excuses. And there are actually 3 types of excuses that people make. So the first is external excuses, such as blaming another person for your lateness, for example. And the second type is an uncontrollable excuse. And that's something such as the weather or something in your environment that you say prevented you from doing what it was that you were supposed to be doing. And the final one is the unintentional excuse. And that's the one where you say that you've made a mistake, such as catching the wrong bus. So those are the 3 types of excuses that people make. And the 2 common reasons that people make excuses is because there could be a gap between their real true self and their imagined self, so what they actually want to be like, or wanting to impress someone else or avoiding upsetting others. However, excuses can be used actually in a really negative way, as a manipulation tactic. So it could form part of a compulsive lying personality or another type of personality disorder. On the other hand, it could be a sign of low self-esteem and a lack of confidence in people not wanting to tell the truth. So making up excuses could be a conscious, thought-out, intentional behaviour, but also if they do it enough, it could just be habit.
I just want to touch on what you said about the three types of excuses. The first one is external, was it? External excuses?
Yeah, external excuses. So, for example, blaming another person. So, I couldn't get there because my mum made me do the washing up before.
Yeah, which is probably the most common one.
Yeah.
It was that person's fault because why I'm late or why I didn't do this thing.
That's it.
Right? The second one?
Uncontrollable. So, that's something like the weather or something in the environment, like there was an earthquake or something, and that's the reason I couldn't do it. There's just totally uncontrollable, I couldn't physically get there.
But then the person would always blame that uncontrollable thing for why. So it's like they're never trying to actually do something different so that they can be on time, for example.
That's it. So they always use those excuses and they never actively find a way around it.
Well, the bus is always late. Well, get up earlier and catch the next bus, the earlier one, right?
Yeah.
And the final one?
That was the unintentional one. So that's the miss the bus one. So you've got external, blame the mother, for example.
Yeah.
Uncontrollable, like the weather,
right.
And then unintentional, which is your own mistake.
Your own mistake.
That's
okay.
it, yeah.
So whether you are guilty of one or all three, you know, you can do something to change your situation. You can do something, so you don't have to lie, you don't have to finger point, you don't have to shirk responsibility or shift the blame on other people. And you know, as the video said, there are many people who it becomes such a habit that people don't want to be around that person because they are always making excuses, right? They're quite negative.
Yeah, and they're very untrustworthy.
Yeah.
And people don't want to be anywhere near them.
And people will pick up on them making excuses, right?
Absolutely.
They're going to be found out one day. So if you are this type of person, maybe you're losing friends. Maybe your family members don't trust you anymore because you've just become this untrustworthy person. You're lying all the time, and that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. An excuse can turn into a lie, right? So people don't trust you anymore. They don't look up to you anymore. Maybe you were once this honest, decent person. But because of something that's happened in your life, you've started to become negative, negative about your surroundings, negative about yourself. And now you're looking for the easy way out. And the easy way out is to make an excuse. If you would like help with this, if you say, how can I help? How can I be helped? How can I stop making excuses, being this negative person, and own up to my mistakes? Well, it's very simple. You can contact us in the usual way. If you're a regular viewer of this program, you can do so by calling the number on your screen now. It's 0207 686 6300. If you'd like to send us an email, you can email us right now. We'll receive the emails. It's help@findinganswers.tv. And we have Twitter as well, which is, I always get stuck with this one. Finding Answers TV.
No.
No? What is it?
@Find Answers TV.
There you go. Just, if you're in Twitter, you do the @ @Finding Answers, Find Answers TV. All right? And also, if you have missed any of our programs, you'd like to catch up, you can always go to our YouTube channel, which is Finding Answers.
Yes.
Yeah? Brilliant. Okay, we're going to go for a break now. And when we come back, we're going to meet our guest for this evening. And maybe what she will say related to her story, maybe you can identify it with your own situation. So we'll be back right after this break.
All systems are go. We're about to
been steering killer drones searching for missiles won't reach Syria for several months. But it says it will sell big fighter jets to the outside.
Come on, spin me around now. I don't wanna go home. 'Cause when you hold me like this, you know my heart skips a beat. I know I should, but I can't leave it alone. And when you hold me like this, that's when my heart skips a beat.
You gotta love this, man.
All systems are go. We're about ready.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, tonight's topic is called Stop Making Excuses. If you are guilty of this, then hopefully the person who's be sharing her story tonight will help you not to make excuses anymore. Her name is Keeley Rose. Let's meet her now.
Pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Keeley Rose, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Now, before I touch on the topic of excuses, making excuses, I just want to find out how were you before? How was life for you before?
Tough. I was quite a depressed person.
Yeah.
Empty at times, like, inside, I mean. As in, I just always kind of felt empty and always feeling down. So, and also it stemmed from having a low self-esteem and comparing myself to other people as well.
Right.
So I kind of went through a battle inside, especially in my teens.
Right.
And to my early 20s.
So, do you know where that all stemmed from?
A number of things. At home, things were fine at home. My brothers and my sister had a big family, and it was kind of a thing like, you don't have any reason why you should feel like this. But at the same time, I felt like I wasn't achieving the things I wanted, especially as we're talking about excuses now. Yeah. I wasn't achieving the things I wanted. I always felt like I said, I was always comparing myself to people. So,
what type of people were you comparing yourself to? Were it people close to you, around you, or was it like role models, idols, or?
Yeah, at the time it was a mixture, because I was a teen, and so I would look into like magazines and then think, oh, I don't like that, or I don't like the way I look, or even sometimes it would be people near me, like my friends, and I'll think, oh, they're doing better at me in school, or in college, and look at me, I'm not doing well, so I would always kind of beat myself up.
Right.
Yeah.
And that led you to being really low, as you said.
Yeah.
Depressed, even.
Even though people didn't see it much.
You hid it very well.
Yeah, I hid it very well, but inside, I knew how I felt.
Yeah. Okay. So that was kind of you before.
Yeah.
Did that link into tonight's topic in terms of making excuses, or is it two totally separate things?
It links in, but at the same time, I do have a different side as well that I would like to touch.
So let's talk about that then.
Yeah.
And also we're going to hear how you changed.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're no longer depressed. We're going to hear about that later on.
Yeah.
So in terms of making excuses for yourself, tell us, how did things start with you? When did you start making excuses?
Well, everyone is born with a dream or has like a goal in life. And many times what happens is that, you say, oh, I want to be this when I grow up, or when I leave secondary school, and you go after it, you go college, and then you're supposed to go university and then get the job. And then for me, it was like, okay, I know what I want to do. But then it's like the pressure of life mounted. Like I had things coming in. I wanted the latest clothes. I wanted my own income. I didn't only want to be dependent on my brothers or my sisters or even my parents. As a young woman, you have your own needs. So I was studying part-time in college, and I still had my focus. Like, look, I want to do this. This is where I want to go with my studies. But at the same time, I felt that pressure of me not having no income.
Right.
And you know, you want to, well, at least as a young person, you want to look good when you're going to college. That's what it is. And then I was kind of looking for a job on the side, so that, because I was studying part-time and I wanted to also work part-time, which can be quite a lot on, but I decided, look, I need to do it to get some income for myself. So I went ahead and I got a job that helped me. It was flexible around my time, so it worked perfectly.
So what were you studying at the time?
Media studies. It was an intense course, actually.
Right.
I think I came in about 3 times a week, three or 2 times a week, but the work was a lot.
Yeah.
And the course was really good.
So, and on the side, you got this job.
Yeah.
And what was the job?
It was an admin job.
Right.
Yeah, it was an admin job. So imagine, as a young person, you get a job that fits with your study hours. So it's like, it works perfectly, and I got a little income coming in. So it's like, why not? So I said yes.
What happened then?
Yeah, so I said yes. Of course, like, my family were happy because now I had something that I could depend on. Like, I'm making my money now. So I took the job. We're still studying, and then I finished my studies. It went well, and then you know, you have that break where then you're meant to go to university. So I had that break, and I said, look, instead of just working twice a week, I might just work 5 days a week, get more income. That would be great until I go to university. And I remember showing up. I remember it came a time where, you know, when you apply for university, I showed up at the door, and I think I came in with some incomplete documents or something like that. And then they said, oh, you have to go and come back. And I thought, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then I lost sight of what I wanted. And then I said, look, I'm just going to work and just take a gap year. Right.
Let me take time off.
Yeah.
And just focus on work now.
Yeah.
So this admin role became your full-time job.
Yeah. Remember, it was meant to be a gap year. That's what they call it. So it's only meant to be 1 year.
Right.
But that gap year, it turned into...
How many years?
7 years.
7 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm assuming it wasn't what you wanted.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a career field you wanted to go down.
No, it wasn't. And it was like, when I was there, I mean, the working environment was nice, people were nice, the location was easy to get to. Like, if I didn't take bus because the buses were packed, or I missed my bus, I could easily walk it there in the summer, walk it back home. So everything worked out well for me. Right. And I kept making an excuse, thinking, oh no, I'm going to go, I'm going to study, I'm going to go back, or I'm going to do what I want to do, you know. But then, you know, the thought will come to my mind, but then I will always kind of like brush it off. For the first year I done that, because remember, it was meant to be a gap year. The second year already, I settled.
So did your dream die then? Because what did you want to go into?
I wanted to go into advertising.
Advertising?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, the first year went by, you were already kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
You got an income now, right?
Yeah.
You've got an income, you can buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
So the first year went by, and it was like, you didn't think, you know, it's what? I'm trying to go back to my time of studying. Is it you apply in June, July for courses in September or something like that when it starts? So, you know, the time has come by. Didn't you think, you know what, let me start applying, or were you already in your comfort zone already?
I was already settled. I was in my comfort zone. Like the video said before, like, you get in your comfort zone, you don't realize that you're actually making excuses.
Yeah.
You make excuses to yourself, the reason why you shouldn't move forward. Like, oh no, you know, I'm here because now I'm getting older, the years are going by, and I need to save money for this, and I need transport money, and I need that. So you don't find a reason why you should move on. You find more excuses why you should actually stay.
Right.
So I stayed.
Okay.
And I made a lot of excuses to myself.
So during that, okay, the first year turned into the second year, turned into the third year. And, you know, as each year went by, were you kind of saying to yourself, you know what, I need to go back? Or is it like, forget it, I'm stuck now?
No, not at all, actually. Inside of me was like, Keeley, what do you actually want to do? It's like I almost lost sight of what I wanted to do, because I was so comfortable where I was that it's like, sometimes randomly that question will come to mind, like, what do you want to do? Well, what do you want to do for life? Why are you here? Why are you working here? But then I would often just brush that thought off and think, oh, no.
So it was just thoughts in your head?
Yeah, it was thoughts.
You didn't actually open up, speak to anyone about it? You know what, I'm not happy in in my job or what I'm doing now? Did you speak to anyone about it?
I did actually. I spoke to friends, and a friend would, the friend that I spoke to would say, "Oh, go ahead, you know, find a job," and it'll be like, "Hey, yeah, it's true. I'm gonna do it," and I just didn't do anything.
Right.
I just didn't do anything at all.
And you know, 1 year turned into 7. You
Yeah,
said?
7 years. Yeah.
There must have come a point where you said, or you felt, I can't take this anymore. I'm really unhappy. The money I've got, but I'm just not getting any job satisfaction here. Mm-hmm. When did that actually start coming to you?
Well, it started when I had to really stop and think and say, Keeley, come and be real with yourself. Like, what are you doing here? What do you want? I had to really take all the excuses I made and push them out and just look at myself and think, what am I doing? Who am I? You know, what is it that I want to do? Mm-hmm. What are the dreams that I want to go for? So it's only really when I stopped and I gave a thought, I pushed myself to think, because often it's like, you know, I got so used to the routine of going to work, coming home. You know, I could even go to work with my eyes closed because I knew the location so well. I knew where my office was so well. You know, so you get into a routine of doing things, and you get so comfortable doing things that, you know, to get out of that routine, it can be very difficult. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, even though you were getting paid, but if you're not in a job that you don't like, you know, you're not happy with, you're not seeing a future there, it's not fulfilling your purpose because you had a goal set where you want to be, right? Mm-hmm. And that job wasn't meeting those needs. So even though you were getting money, which was in the beginning what you wanted, but then it's like, you know what, I need to be in the field I want to be in. You know, I have ambitions, I have goals that I want to achieve, right? And this job is not meeting those goals. So did you kind of, I won't say depressed, but did you kind of feel really low?
You know, when a person makes excuses, you don't realize the cause of it. And well, I'm going to round up my story towards the end, but coming out of this situation made me realize that behind my excuses was an insecurity, a fear. A fear of rejection. Like, what if I leave this job and I find another job and they don't like me, or I don't move forward. So all of these thoughts would just bombard my mind, all of these negative thoughts, and you know, and then that's why I just kind of settled and thought, no, I'm fine where I am.
You know, I come across a lot of people who you know, say they want a job, they want a better job, or they want you know, that career that they've always set out to be in, and they've done what you've done. They've picked a job because of the money, or it's you know, just for a time being, I need the money. So they accept this job, but then they are so into the job, they get more hours, right? They fall into this comfort zone, and they're working now, as you're saying, a few years is very common, this thing. 2, 3, 4, 5 years in this job. And then they start saying, you know what, I need to find the job that I want. But guess what? They say, I have no time now.
That's the...
I have no time to look for a job.
No,
I can't do it at work because I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to go on the internet. And, you know, I go in 9 o'clock in the morning, I leave at 5, the agencies are closed. And all of a sudden, all these excuses start happening. They start making these excuses, and so they're stuck. And unless they try to do something different, they will always be stuck. And what they start doing, as Victoria said, they start finding excuses for themselves. The external excuses, the internal excuses, the inside-out excuses. I can't remember what the excuses are, right? The natural excuses. They blame the dog. They blame the weather, right? They blame everyone else except themselves. And that's what you were facing at that moment.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. And that, you know, now that you've just said that, that reminded me of a time when I was working in a retail department before this job of 7 years. And I was just working, just temping over the Christmas. And I remember going in the lifts, getting ready to go to the shop floor. And one of the ladies said to me, "Oh, you're here, are you new for the first time?" It's me, "Yeah, I'm new." And she said, "Oh, that's nice." And then when the doors of the lift opened, she said, "Wow, that's nice, I've been here for 20 years. And I thought, no way, that's not going to be me. Yeah, so
20 years?
Yeah, so it's...
In the same position?
Yeah.
There, well, you see, right? Maybe you're stuck, and not maybe in a role, a job position, but something else, where you are making excuses for yourself, right? Your excuses have gotten you into trouble. Trouble at home with family, trouble at work, right? You have this disease, this sickness called excusitis. Everything is an excuse. You don't like to own up to your own mistakes. And it's time to wake up. It's time to smell the coffee. Realize that, you know what? Your life is in your hands, right? Your success or failure depends on you, on the choices that you make. And if you want to make the right choices, stay tuned, because after the break, we're going to hear from Keeley Rose how she turned this around. And if you are stuck and you want to turn your life around, you're going to hear her story. And hopefully it will encourage you to do the same thing. We'll see you after this.
All systems are go. We're about to
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee, and it's suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Follow My Channel's updates on Facebook. Like your favourite videos and see pictures of your favourite artists. Access our Twitter at MyChannelUK and get to know what's on with My Channel. Visit tvmychannel.com and be connected to our world. My Channel, a whole new world of entertainment.
All systems are go. We're about to
Definitely depression is probably number one.
They're arguing and they're talking negatively about each other.
What is more valuable than another? And so
you can have as many friends and families as you want. It just depends.
Is a common regret, like, oh, like I should have like asked that person out, or like.
Hi, I'm Chika here on the streets of London for Finding Answers. Tonight's topic is stop using excuses. Excuses are things that we can use to avoid decisions or things that we really have to do. So I'm going to be asking the general public how they think we can move away from making excuses rather than taking action. Let's see what they say. In your opinion, how do you think we can motivate people to move away from making excuses and take more action?
I think what you have to do is get people to start doing what they love. And once you start doing what you love, you're less inclined to make excuses and actually go about doing it because you're motivated. And you know what? Life is short. Stop making excuses to do things, to stop doing things that you don't want to do. So just focus your attention, your direction the right way, and you won't even want to make excuses.
I think you should educate each other within the community and be honest about sensitive subjects, and dare to talk about them and confront each other on a positive level, and try to get out of your comfort zone and put your money where your mouth is. Just do it. Don't get comfortable into, you know, rules or habits. And if you want to grow, you have to break through.
Show them the consequences for their actions. Show them what could happen if you keep burying things. Eventually it's going to come back, and eventually it's going to, you know, you're going to see a big reaction. You're not going to like it very much.
I would think that probably by understanding that making excuses is covering up for things, and when we're honest and we say, you know what, I did this, I'm sorry, and apologizing first, then we'll know that that's the right thing to do.
There you have it, those opinions of some people on the streets of London. Now, back to my guest tonight, Keeley Rose, who's going to explain how you changed, right?
Yeah.
How you change your mindset from being this kind of negative person, making excuses, to now being in where you are today, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How did things change for you?
Yeah, it was a journey for me. It wasn't easy, as I said, because in my mind I kind of made up like, oh, I can't take action, I can't go for what I want because of this and because of that, and I might get rejected, and the fear, and all of these excuses came about. But then eventually I said, Keeley, stop, what do you want? Because clearly I'm not happy where I am, even though the environment was good, the location was good, but deep down it's like I wasn't satisfied, I wasn't fulfilled. You know, when someone is doing something that they love, it's like their career, their dream, it no longer becomes work for them.
Right.
But for me, it just felt like, okay, I'm doing work and then I'm going to leave. So I had to really stop myself and think, you know, what do I want out of this? Where am I going? And then from there, like someone said on the street, I jumped out of the comfort zone. I took a risk.
Right.
I took a risk and I gave in my resignation. And then, I mean, that was...
How did that kind of, where did that spark start from? What was it that gave you that kind of strength to do that?
Yeah, it was the strength of knowing what I wanted, because I had spent so long in this job now. Well, back then I had spent so long in the job, and I thought, no, you know, I have to find it within myself to know what I want and go for it. Because I after a while I was feeling fed up. Like, come on, like, for how long am I going to say, like every year I would write down the same goal. I want a job here and I will do this. But it's like, it was like they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So I was setting the same goal every year and doing nothing about it.
Right.
And even when I would do something about it, I wasn't pushing myself enough. I'll give the excuse.
So what was it? Was it a friend who, where did that spark change come? Was it someone you spoke to? Was it, you know, an inspirational speaker that you heard? What was it that sparked off the
I mean, like I said, going back from the beginning, that I was a really depressed person. I had a friend that received a lot of help. She was attending a church,
right,
and she invited me to come along with her.
Right.
And coming to the church, you know, I myself, I was open to the help that I received there. And I'm grateful that my friend invited me to go, because you know, now I can look at my life and see that from the help that I've received from coming to the church, coming to like the different sessions they have, like for example on Monday they have like a meeting based only on the financial life, where they speak about motivational messages,
right? And
that really helped, especially with this situation, as well as like other meetings that helped me develop my confidence in myself to believe that I could go after the things that I wanted.
Right.
You know, a lot of inspirational messages that I received from attending my friend's church.
Okay.
So that helped, and that also helped with me taking a decision to leave.
Right.
Because
what was
it's
it?
not that.
Can you remember a message that you heard? Was it something that you heard, you know, take action, or stop making excuses, stop being negative? What was it that kind of helped you spark that?
Yeah, I don't remember in detail, but I know that often in the Monday meetings, they're always talking about people that take risk.
Right.
Often that's spoken of, like people that take risk. And we know that those who have taken risks now are successful people. They left their job, or they decided, look, I'm going to start my own business. And, you know, in these Monday meetings, they often give examples of people, like famous people that have, you know, they took a risk.
So I take it, when you handed in your resignation, did you have a job already set up, or did you say, you know what, I'm just going to hand it in and just, now I've got time to look for the job that I really want to go into?
When I handed it in, I didn't have anything.
So you were taking a very big risk.
Yeah, I was. Actually.
I'm sure you had bills to pay now.
Yeah.
You're 7 years older, right?
Getting younger.
Right, you got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I'm sure your lifestyle is a bit more extravagant than when you were at college.
Yeah.
So no income is coming, but you decided to take a risk of handing your resignation. Now you were like forced.
I was forced
to look for the job that you wanted.
I was forced to look for the job I wanted, and you know, there was no room for excuses now. There was no room at all.
So what did you start doing then?
So I started applying, started searching on the internet, you know, as anyone would do every day.
And sorry to cut you, you could have done that. You could have made a way.
Yeah.
You could have taken maybe a week off and done that.
Yeah.
But maybe in the time that you did take off, it's like, I'm in this job.
Yeah. It's
Let
always,
me just relax.
Yeah, it's always at the back of the mind, at the back of my mind, that I have something to fall back on.
Right.
Whereas in this case, because I left. So I don't have nothing to fall back on. So Keeley, you better do something about it.
Right.
So I felt more pushed.
So I kind of pushed you into gear, right?
Yeah,
Let me start doing something now.
Yeah, it pushed me into gear. So.
And when did you get this job?
So I applied, and again, like I said, I had a fear of being rejected, right? So I started applying for work, and then I got a job. But it wasn't what I wanted, but I said, okay, look, it's a job, so I'm going to go for it. Just
so you're kind of falling into the same trap again?
Yeah, again.
Right.
But I said, it's not what I wanted, but I'm going to go for it. Got a bit of income coming in again. See the thought that it's coming back, so I went for it. And everything was going fine. I was coming on time, taking my lunches, or sometimes I just eat just there while I'm working, just so that they see, you know, wow, she's dedicated kind of thing. And then I told them beforehand in the interview that I would be going away for 2 days. So I already booked it. And they said, yeah, that's fine. So when I had gone away, I was just out of London. Then they called me and they said they didn't want me to come back. And I was like, and I felt really quite down, because I thought, you know, I've left my job. Now look what's happened, you know. And then I thought to myself, because I've been coming to the Monday meetings, the financial meetings, you know, and they always have motivational messages that, you know, no matter how many times you fail, you can get back up. So I thought to myself, no, you know, I'm going to change that for. Instead of thinking negative, I'm going to think positive, and I know something better is going to come. So that same week, 2 companies called me for an interview, and I went to 2 separate interviews.
Right.
And then it's like, I chose what I wanted. It wasn't the other way around.
So you accepted for both jobs?
Yeah, I got accepted for both jobs, but I chose the job I wanted.
Right.
So.
And are you in the job that you enjoy? You want to go in?
Yeah, I enjoy. There's prospects, you know, and it's leading me to where I actually want to go now. So it's working for a government body.
Right.
That's really good, and it's taken me out of my comfort zone, because first time I was offered it, I was kind of hesitant, like, oh, should I take it? Should I not? Can I do this? Can I not? You know, but again, between that job and the other job was offering me more of a comfort zone, more of a, you know, an excuse.
Right.
The reason why I should go there. But this job that I'm in, you know, it forces me to be a better me.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously it's in the career, the field that you want to go down.
Yeah.
And that's it. And today, how are you?
Yeah, today I have my dreams. I have my dreams, my goals, not only the things on the outside, but on the inside, you know, no matter the issues or problems, because, you know, we all have problems, but whenever it comes against me, you know, because I've been coming and attending the church my friend invited me, it's given me strength, it's taught me how to, you know, tackle any issues or any problems that I have in life.
Was that same church the place that helped you when you said you were down and depressed as well?
Yes, that's the same church that helped me.
So for the prayers,
yeah,
you know, advice, whatever the messages you were given, it's helped you to also change and turn your life around.
Yeah, it's helped me a lot.
You know, you wouldn't be in this position now happy if you didn't tackle the root problem, which was, as you said, the depression, feeling low, comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah, it's true.
So you're different, Keeley, today.
I'm different.
Okay, Keeley, thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
Now, we're going to go for a break. If you can identify if anything that Keeley said tonight, career-wise or not, maybe it's to do with another area of your life and you are guilty of making excuses for yourself. You know you're not in a happy place. You know you're blocking your life from moving forward, and you want to, you know, own up and do something about your life. Then you still have time to give us a call. The number is on your screen. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, I will be praying for you. We'll see you after this.
All systems are go. We're about to
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
All systems are go. We're about to
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, we will be saying a prayer for you in a few moments' time, but before, I just want to refer to the Bible. In the beginning, it talks about Adam and Eve. And did you know, many people know the story of Adam and Eve, that, you know, they ate the fruit, not an apple, but a fruit, and they disobeyed God, etc., etc. But did you know that they made excuses? When God came to Adam and Eve, Eve made an excuse. It was the serpent, the snake, that caused me to eat it. And then when God went to Adam, Adam made an excuse and said, the reason why I ate the apple is because it's the woman that you gave to me. So everyone was finger pointing, everyone was shifting the blame. No one owned up to their responsibility, to their mistake. And if you find yourself doing that, you will displease a lot of people. And that shows something about your character. It shows something about who you are as a person. And as we said in the beginning, if you are this person that has this excusitis disease, people will be less likely to want to be around you. They don't want to be around negative people, people who don't want to own up. People will admire you if you do own up to your mistakes. Hands up, it was my fault, but you know what? I'm going to change. I'm going to do something different next time. And if you are this type of person, no matter what excuses you are finding or making up about, I would like to help you to be this different person through the prayer. Okay? You can be a different person. If you want our help tonight through the prayer, then join me now. Get your glass of water ready. It's time for prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your financial life, send your name and a prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My God, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I pray, my Father, for this person who has been down, who feels lost, who feels sad, because instead of owning up to their mistakes, to faults that they have, confessing that they need to change, they keep hiding behind excuses. Out of fear, my Lord. This person is afraid of getting themselves into trouble with their boss or with a family member. My Lord, this person who's afraid of owning up because they feel that if they do, it's going to make them look weak. It's going to make them look soft. My God, only when we admit to our mistakes, when we have this honesty, when, my Lord, we reveal to people and to you who we are, so that's when we'll be able to find the help to change. My God, I pray that this person will not hide behind excuses anymore. They will not hide behind this facade, but will be open, be honest, and even ask for help, starting tonight, my God. Father, bless this glass of water, and let this water be an instrument that this person will be cleansed from this excusitis, the thoughts that come to this person's mind telling them that they're no good. Help them to let go, to get rid of their past and their mistakes of what they've done before, so that they may be able to start again and make new changes, make new decisions. This is what I pray in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Drink this glass of water now, and may the same God who helped Keeley also help you in Jesus Christ's name. So remember, own up to your mistakes. Don't let your past hinder or stop you from making a decision to change your future. All right, until the next time, have a wonderful night. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.